Evening, fam. It was dodgy as fuck. Welcome back to. Ooh, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Dirty Laundry. Thank you again to our non-sponsor but sponsor Corona for providing another 7 beers to Dirty Laundry. And you know what? I don't have baby brother here with me tonight. And I think the reason why it's a good idea is because tonight's topic, not only is it a little uncomfortable, but it can be a little bit scary. So, let me start off by again thanking all of our brand new followers. We've got some new subscribers on YouTube. I am pumped. Like, we're getting great views, not as many subscribers, so my goodness, guys, help me out. I'm loving doing what I'm doing, but hit the subscribe button. You know what? It's free. You don't even have to pay for it. That's probably the best part about it. I thought long and hard about this topic, and the reason why I find it quite uncomfortable at some points anyway is because I believe almost everybody, not everyone, but almost everybody can personally relate to this topic. And what I want to talk about is what happens to our loved ones after they pass. Yes, what happens to our loved ones when they pass. The reason why I believe it's a little, I'd say still a little fresh, in my immediate family anyway. We have lost one person, only one. And again, this is just my immediate family. We do have some past relatives, cousins and great grandfathers and great grandmas and all the who's passed, absolutely. But immediate family, there's only been one. Now, if there are people out there who know myself and my family, my grandfather passed away a while back now. Probably just a little over a year and a bit. And it's always been a touchy subject because if you had the great opportunity to know my granddad, he was very loving, very outgoing, very personable, but he was also very, very strong. And then all of a sudden, thanks to the big C word, and he started to deteriorate quite rapidly. So he went from walking 5Ks a day to literally being bedridden on the couch, just trying to get by. It definitely left a big mark and a big hole in all of our hearts. And, we miss him dearly. And we're always thinking about him, like always. But in saying that, there are a lot of religions out there and a lot of people with different beliefs on what actually happens after families actually pass away. I wanted to share my experience, but to also, let's say, bring a little bit of light into what I believe, what I feel, and all that. And if there are people out there listening who have lost loved ones, maybe they can actually have their eyes opened up as well, because I've spoken to a lot of people who have had loved ones pass away, and it's never easy. It's a horrible thing, truly horrible. But let me just say, they're never really gone, and that's just a positive way of saying that they're not here. But that's really what I wanted to talk about. And again, it can be a bit scary at sometimes because there are people out there who believe in spirits, ghosts and whatnot. And again, this is it can be quite confronting sometimes. So just one of the big things that, I mean, if you didn't know, a Filipino background. So in the Philippines, they're very, very, very big on religion. Now, not many people know this about myself, but again, this is my outlet to the world to, let them know what's happening. I genuinely feel like I've lost a lot of my beliefs and my faith anyway. And it's a horrible thing to say because that's how I was brought up. But I feel deep down that I've lost a lot of it, and I know I shouldn't. But there is always that part of me, because it was ingrained in my head and my spirit and my mind, that there is a higher power out there. 98.7% of the Philippines is Catholic or Christian. It is what it is. And I can assure you now, this is probably a video that I will get a lot of backlash over. It's not, I don't feel very comfortable saying it, but things have happened and it's kind of altered the way that my life has actually gone. Now, I know I may be contradicting myself when I say, that I've lost my faith, but my granddad never did. He was a man of God, and he passed it on to his kids, and then obviously to myself, and we are where we are at the moment. So, but yeah, in the Philippines, look, spirituality is absolutely massive. We turn to religion when all hell breaks loose, and we believe that someone up there is watching over us, and everything has happened for an actual reason. Now, again, there are going to be a lot of people out there who disagree, and one thing that I've learned as I've grown up is to literally don't treat religion as if it's the gospel. You can believe what you want to believe. We shall respect what other people believe, but for the people who actually force that way of life down everybody's throat and into their lives, even if they say they don't want to, that's not cool. Personally, I don't think that's cool. But with regards to spirituality and all that type of stuff, so we believe that the dead are never really gone. Their spirits stay here. They're with us all the time. And without making it melodramatic, this whole thing about they're always in our hearts, they're always part of us, the bloodline continues, so they're never really gone. And that's the beautiful part. That's the beautiful part about this whole thing, that, there's a bit of my granddad inside me and inside the whole family, and I love that whole thing. But just getting back to what we feel, as a people, is that they're always there and they're always trying to communicate with us, and they're always dropping signs, they're always trying to give us a clearer path, because they're supposed to be up there from wherever it is. It doesn't have to be heaven, it could just be in their whole own spiritual realm, and their job after death is to make sure that we follow a path to righteousness, that we follow a path that is going to make us happier, and in turn is going to make the world a happier place. So one of the big things about my beliefs is that my granddad always communicated with me via song. All right. I had the honor of preparing his video for his funeral, and we used a amazing song, "A Million Dreams" from The Greatest Showman. Okay, I fell in love with this song, and it wasn't the lyrics itself really wasn't about what life is like after death. It's more about what he left for us here. He left He left us with dreams of being better than where we came from, because I'm telling you, where we came from was, it was okay, but it wasn't the best of places, which is why I'm so lucky and again so blessed and privileged to be living here in Australia. But what we always notice is in times of grief, in times of sadness, his song will come on the radio. It will be the next song playing on the playlist when we're in the car. And I take that as signs that he's still here. He's still saying, hey, listen, don't need to be sad. I'm not in pain anymore. I'm cool. I'm up here with my family. And that is that. And there are always big beliefs without getting religion involved, that this life is literally just a stepping stone to the next chapter, and before here we were somebody else. There are a lot of people out there who believe in reincarnation and all that. Now, I still feel him here. I have photographs of him on our wall. I've got a beautiful note that he wrote me on his typewriter. That was his thing. He loved to type, and old school. I'm talking typewriter, not computer and print out. And that's on the wall, and I see that every day when I get home from work. And it just reminds me how lucky I was to have him in my life, and the fact that both Winter and Willow got to see him and got to meet him, and they were old enough to remember who he was, and that's their great granddad. That's super lucky. If any parents out there have their kids and they were lucky enough to meet their great grandparents, that's a beautiful thing. And that's something that I believe that we really should treasure. Just as of late, I have noticed, because we did have another passing in our family. It would have been a late aunt for me. And it just brought back all these memories about the passing in our family. And it really just got me thinking about what does happen, in my opinion anyway, when someone passes away. So again, without getting religion involved, my belief is that their physical body does leave this world. Whether they're buried, whether they're cremated, whatever it is, their physical body itself is gone. But I do believe in spirituality. I would love to say that I find myself quite spiritual. I do enjoy the odd meditation session where I'm literally I lock myself in a room. It's 10-15 minutes, eyes are shut. I've got a really nice calming soundtrack in the back, and it's just time for me to reflect, time for me to allow the bad vibes to leave my body, and then just come back down to earth and go, yep, I'm ready to tackle another day. So I believe he's up there somewhere, or out here somewhere, because he does pop up every now and then. We'll have lights flicker. We'll have noises that we hear out of nowhere. In the back of my mind, I know that it could be just a mental thing playing, but I do hear a typewriter every now and then, and it just makes me believe that, he's still watching over us. He's really just here to let us know everyone's okay. My belief again is physical body is gone, but spirit is still here. It lingers. It is something that still, how would you say, it still connects all living things. I've been listening to a couple of motivational videos actually lately, and there was one person, I believe he was a yogi, so he practices yoga and all that, and he says that one of the things that can prove that you've reached enlightenment is when you realize that the whole world is connected in one way or another. Now, this is not a Lion King reference about the circle of life and all that, but just one line that he said just made me think. The air that we breathe in and then exhale is then breathed in by your trees, your plants, and then is let back out into the world as clean air. So we're all, however you say, connected. And this yogi was saying that, once people can realize that we are part of this world, whether we want to be or not, once we just understand that, and once we can appreciate that whole thing, there is a reason why you are alive. There is a reason why I'm alive. There is a reason why you missed that bus to get to a job interview or something or other. There's a reason why you didn't make it. And that reason is pre-written. It's written in stone, because if it's not your time, it's not your time. And that's not about death. It's not about you passing away or anything like that. It's literally, you weren't supposed to be there at that specific time. Now, it's a beautiful thing, but it can also be a quite scary thing. And the argument behind that is, if we were to believe that everything was pre-written and that, everything happens for a reason, then that means that we no longer have free choice. We cannot alter our future or our lives because it's already been done for us. So it's like, well, I can't go out and have another beer because I'm not supposed to have another beer. Therefore, that's not my free choice. But was that my choice anyway, not to have another beer because I knew I wasn't going to get one? And that's where we kind of get into this whole, it is a free choice, but it's not a free choice. And again, look, in light of this most recent passing, again, in our family, and Tita Angie, I know you're there somewhere. I am very, very sorry that you're no longer here with us, and I know that you've left an amazing mark on this world. You've touched many, many hearts. You've touched many people. You've got some beautiful grandkids here who know you well and will remember you forever. And that's probably one of the best things that we can leave here. And you fought for your life. You fought for the life of your family. And this is a big cheers to you. Thank you very much for being a part of my life. And wherever you are, I know you're looking down on us or looking up, or it's like you could be right here for all I know. Yeah, not yet. But I wanted to sit here today, and as what we try to do when we meditate is, I want to send out some positive vibes. I want to send out some positive love to everybody out there who's definitely lost someone. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean lost someone to death, but even if it's a loss of a friendship, maybe somebody's moved and all that. And the encouragement that we are being told, especially in these times, is to try to keep in contact with people. And even if it's just a text message, a phone call, a GIF or GIF, however you'd like to say it. Start a group chat with a group of old schoolmates. I've still got one. I've got 4 very, very amazing schoolmates out there who I still keep in contact with even till this day, and we're talking 20 plus years down the track. Be supportive of people. You never ever know when you're going to need or want their support back. And I think it's just a beautiful thing that in this trying times, in this world filled with negative media, negativity period, that we still have a choice to be good Be good people. That's really what this world needs. There is a theory going around at the moment. It was a study back, I think it was in year 2000, 2001, where there was a city of 200,000 people. Crime rate was through the roof. There's a lot of bad energy, and all that. People were fighting, there were murders, whatever it was. It took 1% of the population of 200,000. So I think it was 2,000 people. Just pretty much made a group, got together in their own homes, and they said, on Friday, every Friday at, I believe it was 6 p.m, we meditate for 10 minutes. It was a collective group of people who were sending out positive vibes out to their area. And what they noticed is throughout that meditation time and a couple of days afterwards, crime rates would drop. There'd be a lot more love out there. People were happier. Things were a lot more prosperous. And, you can call that bullshit, whatever it may be. You can call that a coincidence. You can call that something. But to think that it took 1% of a group of, tens or hundreds of thousands to make a change or decide to try something and saw some positive outcomes. So take tonight, if you're watching this tonight, if you're watching this tomorrow, watching wherever, take 5-6 minutes of your time, isolate yourself, which we're probably doing already. Get in a room, shut your eyes, be thankful and be grateful for what we've got right now. The fact that we still have family and friends, even though we can't see them or touch them, hug them or anything like that. Be thankful that we're breathing. Be thankful that we can go and grab a beer, that we can go and grab a bite to eat. That, that the government is helping us in a way, especially when it comes to all of our bills, our mortgages and all of that. Just be thankful. I do believe, however little bit part of me believes it, I do believe that as a collective, we can do great for the world. I truly do believe that. It may take one person to get the other person to pass that message on, and so forth and so forth and so forth. This ripple effect that can happen at any given time, I think is just literally one video away. Take the time and send out some positive vibes to the world. And Grandpa, I know you always told me to look for the good in people, and this is what I'm doing. It might not sound like much, but I love to see the good in people, and I hope our families made you proud. We love you so much. We're always thinking about you, and until we meet again. I know you weren't a big fan of beer, but I know you were a big fan of, when in your younger days anyway, you were a big fan of Scotch, from what I've been told. I think that will be the next drink for the next episode. Thank you very much, fam, for letting me vent a little bit. It was a touchy subject, nonetheless. I probably didn't have as much pizzazz as I usually do, even especially when baby brother's here. But you know what? I got to spend it with you guys. I got to down a beer. Once again, let's crack this pandemic one beer at a time. Until next time, thanks for joining me on Dirty Laundry. Much love, fam.